morning, good afternoon, good evening if you are watching this in the evening. But we are back from Las Vegas Super Show and we're here at our favorite place, Hoppos, because we're getting back on the frame because it's leaving in a few days to go back to SNK. We were here yesterday and you know what, honestly, I filmed a whole welcome back to this video and everything yesterday, and then we dove in on things and things were stressful and we were exhausted because the day prior we drove back from Vegas. So I was like, you know what? We don't need to film every little nut and bolt, and sometimes it's better to just put your head down and work so we can get things done. It's crunch time, guys. It's crunch time and I'm stressed. Word of the episode, stressed. We're gonna make it through. We're gonna do everything we can to make this happen, but I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a lot right now. We got about 20 something days left. We have an engine that doesn't run. We have a lot of parts that need to go on. None of us in here are engine people. It's not that we don't know where the parts go, it's a matter of none of us have installed certain things before. So we're calling people and asking for help, and everyone is really busy and it's nobody's responsibility but our own to get this done. So we're gonna try our best and that's all that we can do. Anyways, last night, Jaime and I were here, late actually, because brake lines went on the frame. So all the brake lines have been hard lined in, and let me show you that. My child is right here. So, brake line with the tab is going down in here. And then what we ended up doing was running it underneath this panel up here. So these not only look really nice, but they serve the purpose of hiding wiring and hiring things we don't necessarily want people to see. So the hard line actually runs through. There is, because on both sides there's like this big piece down near at the bottom like that. Do you see that? It has one on this side too. So we drill a hole, it went through there, and then it comes back all the way down the back side of here, and then it's gonna run down along the bottom of the frame and up to the front, and then it'll get hard lined up to the master cylinder. So that's what's going on for brakes. Then we're also gonna work on fuel lines tonight, finish off the brakes, there's a few other things up front, and then go from there. That's what's happening with the frame. We also gotta get the trans in with the freshly built torque converter because that was custom made. I know you can probably see the flywheels on back there, but let's get to it. Lots to go on today. Might not film all during the day because I gotta go grab some parts, and then we're gonna come back here in the evening and jump back on it. So time's of the essence. SEMA crunch, yay! Yay! I just wanna let you guys know that I am not the only one rolling around on 3 spokes at Hoppos. Arthur here.
No, not really.
Okay, well, Arthur messed up his foot. Just, if you can, leave a comment below and harass him, because we don't know if he's going to be able to make it to SEMA. My truck will make it to SEMA. Arthur, we're not sure.
He said he's going to make it.
He got the real SEMA crunch. But I'm pumped.
That's hilarious.
Back like I never left. We have to finish brake lines. We got to get on some fuel lines. So I went to G&J. If you know, you know. If you're from Southern California and you haven't been to G&J, I don't know what the heck you're doing, but we got parts and we got fittings and we have some shifter linkage and we have a screen for the turbo and all sorts of things. We have a little red truck back there, and we have the monster hopper back there. But for now, let's go work on the frame. Jaime's on his way here. We're gonna get to work. Okay, essentially with this guy, it just goes over. Oh my gosh. we're gonna go through it, and it might not look as pretty, but it'll be extremely functional. So for photos and stuff, I would like it to just have a screen. So just leave me alone, okay?
Don't bother her. Don't bother her.
All right. I'm here now. And it's time to do brake stuff. But also, we have these little guys. So these are brackets that Jaime and Alex made yesterday. They essentially go onto down here on these little, where this bolt is and this washer is, off the bracket that comes off the diff. A mouthful. And they're gonna hold the brake line in there. So those got polished today because they were just raw aluminum before. And then we got other little pieces and whatnot. Proportioning valve down here, gonna go on there and get the rest of this brake line situation sorted. So that's the goal right now. And then we're gonna try and get the transmission back in today. That means we gotta put this torque converter in. And then from the transmission, means we can get the drive shaft in because we have a drive shaft now. So one piece at a time, we're gonna tackle this. But all the stuff that goes under the cab has to get sorted first.
Listen, there's something wrong here.
I know, it's the next day. And you're like, what the heck happened? Why didn't we get a proper update last night? One of the worst possible things actually happened. Long story short, my custom torque converter, the wrong dimensions were given for it. So $1,500 later, it didn't go in, the crank didn't fit. I'll show you a little bit of what we're talking about, but I just ran the torque converter to the shop that custom made it, and they are gonna do all they can to get it fixed and sorted by essentially tomorrow, because the frame has to leave to go to Visalia to get the cab put back on it. Once the cab's on it, it's gonna be hard to access the transmission to get that out and the whole works. So this has to get done before the cab goes on. I'll show you a little bit more about what I'm talking about. The torque converter obviously isn't here. I ran it to QTC Converters in Ontario, California. And we're gonna see if we can get this sorted in this time crunch. Again, when I have to put the camera down, I'm sorry. I'm trying to film as much as I can. I know you guys want to see a bunch of cool stuff going on and know all about the ins and outs of the build, but at some point after the build is finished, we're gonna go through everything and talk about it and all this kind of stuff, and I am gonna still try and show you as much as I can, but for right now, I have to be smart and logical and put the camera down and get to work and do the things. So anyways, I'm gonna take these things inside and grab. Whoa. 1 second here. All right, off we go, back inside. So there's stuff that might be able to get done today. There's stuff that might not be able to get done today. I don't know, honestly don't know. But welcome back to the loudest place on earth, where I'm just gonna yell at you the whole time. Anyways, lines and reservoirs and all that kind of stuff. Adan's back there, he's going through all the lines and making sure the hydraulic stuff is tightened, because there is leaks and stuff going on. But we gotta get stuff sorted. Let me talk to you about the torque converter though. So essentially, the torque converter is custom made so that it can fit in here, which is the Toyota crank. It's obviously a Chevy transmission, but it has to fit in here. This part of the torque converter, which is called the snoot, it was too thick and it wasn't long enough, so it did not fit in there, which means it wouldn't bolt up to all these guys, which means it doesn't go on. So they're gonna try and perform some miracle to get the snoot to be the right proper dimensions, and let's hope. Will this run for SEMA? We don't freaking know, to be completely honest with you. We're pushing as hard as we can, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't end up running for SEMA, then it's getting pushed in and it's gonna go to SEMA, and then after we come back, we reassess the situation and get it running properly. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I've cried. Yeah, I feel anxious. And I'm panicked and all the kind of stuff, and I feel a little bit sad, I'm not gonna lie. But we continue, because that's what we do. We keep pushing until we can't push anymore. And we still have time to push.
Push it real good.
The man of the hour arrived and he already injured himself, so we're making sure he gets a proper band-aid.
So there you go. You gotta put two together.
No, but you still need to. Oh!
No, that's it.
Pew pew! Gang gang!
Toyota gang. Whoa!
Yo!
You need to watch where you're going.
I know I gave you guys an update kind of when I got back about the torque converter not working and stressing out about everything, but
It's fine.
none of us here are engine people, and we're trying to do engine things. So we're running lines. Our great friend, Brad, you guys probably know him from Hoonigan, Bad Daddy Brady. Brad came in and saved the day because he's actually done one of these conversions with a Toyota motor with a Chevy transmission. So he was able to help us figure out the torque converter not working correctly. And he's also helping us figure out where vacuum lines are going, different things for the power steering is going. So Alex was working on power steering lines right here. But also at the same time, because you know, got to do a million things at once, working on fuel lines down here and then the fuel regulator down there. All right, so we have fuel lines now. I mean, that connect to the hard lines that were already there, but we have fuel lines. And you're thinking we gotta raise this up so that we can get at this pump, so we can get the rest of this line situation, because these guys have to get connected up into here. So a little crazy. So we'll see how it goes. Tomorrow, Brad's gonna come back, give us a hand trying to get a few other things done. We're gonna see how much we can get done before we have to go pick up the body. So, I mean, that's all we really can do. We're doing the most that we can. We're doing late nights. You can tell already it's dark outside. So, here we go again. Late nights, trying to make tofu happen. Will it happen? We don't know. Back to another day at Hoppos. This might be the last day on this video, or maybe tomorrow's the last day. I'm not quite sure yet, but I have fittings and things. We're gonna make this happen. Okay, so while I was gone, Brad showed up, and Alex obviously lives here. So basically, things are happening with the engine. We have some miracle things happening, and Brad says that
Alex has been doing all the work. I just watch.
you just watch this whole time?
He's incredible.
No way.
This guy's great. I gave him 20 bucks and he says anything on camera, 20 bucks. He said 20 is 20. I don't know.
A 20 is a 20?
I don't know what that means, but
This guy sweats.
I gave him 20 bucks to look at my engine, and here we are.
I told you, I don't know.
You know what
anything
though?
about
Brad is honestly so dang smart when it comes to all this engine stuff, because none of us know engine stuff, and right away he's like, you need this, there's this doesn't fit, let's change it to that. The information that this man has in his head, but also the fact he has a Toyota with a Chevy Trans and has been through the ringer.
This headache was tough. The first time through, zero information out there on the internet. But after you get through it once, like I keep telling her, once you climb that bridge, it's easier to climb it the next time, the next time, and the next time. And she's doing everything right. So
We're trying.
it's gonna get there. She's gonna have an amazing build.
Okay, can you run it down on what you did while I was gone today? Like what do we got here now?
Okay, so we pulled this cover off, and Alex made the tapping and did all that for the intake air temp. So this is where your intake air temperature is going to be to send to your Holley computer. Holley requires just a few basic things to make the motor run. One of them is intake air temp.
All right.
The next one would be manifold air pressure, so MAP. And that we're going to get off of this vacuum line.
All right.
The next one is coolant temperature. Right here, Alex tapped this, and we put the sensor in together. We held hands and we put it in as
You held hands?
as a team. We're team players.
I heard you were holding hands to put this one in.
Something like that, yeah. We touched tips.
Denying me.
I don't stop. That's enough. Okay.
So then we called the distributor guys, really great people, RE Racing.
22RE Raceworks, which is a division of 22RE Performance. But anyways.
And he gave us the stabbing instructions on how to put this in. Alex provided the O-ring and the lube. So once we lubed it up, put the O-ring in, we got that in there. Now we're trying to build the spark plug wire holder because you have this amazing spark plug wire holder, but it was designed to put the spark plugs forward towards the distributor cap.
Yeah.
Yours is going to go backwards and your coil is going to be here. So I went ahead and got your wires out, put them on, and then he had to polish the bottom side.
Oh, because it got flipped over. Yeah,
it wasn't polished, so Alex is polishing the other side.
There it is right there.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
It's really hot.
Is it really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're gonna put that back on with the wires going this way.
So everything's tucked and looks clean. We're trying to avoid wires just freaking everywhere here.
You should only have
want
a
it to
wire loom here,
look
and then
real
these
nice.
go back, and you should be good. And then this is your last sensor, and it goes on your fuel pressure. So this is fuel pressure. This is not a have to, but this is kind of good on turbo motors because you can set a safety up that if you lose fuel pressure, it'll cut power.
Okay.
This is not necessarily a have to, but you already had it sitting up there.
Might as well use it.
Might as well use it. So
Yeah.
this is another Holley product. It's a 100 PSA transducer. They're just transducers. You have another one back here that does your oil pressure. So you have oil pressure and fuel pressure. And that's it. After that, and these things are connected to your Holley ECU, the motor's gonna run.
The motor is going to run. Not today, but with some tuning and some love and with Brad coming to save the day. When I said we were rallying the troops to help us, realistically, Brad is the troops. He's all of the people.
Alex! Leave Alex out! Come on!
No.
I mean, everyone is doing what they can and doing the most, and I'm so excited about the progress that's happened, and in just such a short amount of time. Brad, never will I doubt you in my life. And anytime I need help and need to be rescued, I'm going to call Brad.
We're recording now.
Brad is in charge of the camera right now, but we're figuring out where hard lines are gonna go because we have water returns that have to go off the turbo. You don't have to run them if it's gonna be lower horsepower, as we learned, but we're probably gonna want it if it's ever gonna get driven on the highway. So these are gonna get hard lined, and we're thinking back here.
What was that technical term you were using earlier?
The technical term is it's gonna come from here and then go choot, 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 choot.
So how many choots?
Probably 8 choots, but it'll be fine. 8 choots, please.
As long as you have enough choots, you're good to go.
Yeah, and it'll make the turbo go choo choo, so it'll be fine, right?
Hard line's best. I agree with the hard line.
Choo choo.
That way you're not gonna burn on the
And it'll
exhaust.
look nice, right?
Especially if you polish it like everything else.
Oh my gosh.
You
Brad,
really just fired it up yet?
You kind of like say, I'm gonna cry when this thing runs. I've never, okay, so
Hey, I like that. Yesterday you said if it runs. Today you say when it runs.
when it runs.
That is positive thinking.
So now we're on
This
a,
guy.
what I didn't film is the torque converter came by and with obviously the guy. He didn't just drive here on its own, but it showed up to make sure that it fit properly, and our torque converter situation got sorted.
Can you explain a little bit what happened with the torque converter and what needed to be
Okay,
done?
so basically what happened was, I explained it a bit yesterday, it was too wide to fit in here and sit nice properly into, so it didn't go into the crank proper, what they call the snoot, as I learned.
Snout.
Snout?
Snout.
Like a nose?
Like your nose, your snout.
sorry,
like snout, or like a pig's nose, like a snout.
Like a snout?
Yeah.
I mean, a nose can, anyways.
Sturdy snout.
Yeah, snooty snout?
Snout and ears. So the inside is a
but the ears
snout
line up
and the
with
ears
all
line up. Yes. Snout
Never
and ears.
extended out, but the snout on the torque converter didn't fit in here, so it was too loose. It wasn't going to turn.
Center.
It wasn't going to center, and basically it had to get made smaller and then add a little top onto the top of it, a top onto the top of it, so that it could sit in here flush and proper, so everything can turn properly. And now it does.
Thank you for explaining this
That-
LC engineering nightmare.
Yeah, so if you are out there and you want to put a Chevy, let me sit down please, because this is a conversation that we need to have. If you're out there and you want to put a Chevy transmission to your Toyota motor, and LC Engineering doesn't provide you any info other than you need a custom torque converter, now we have 2 people in California, Brad and myself, that have done this. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without Brad having done this first. So it's not as easy as it seems, but it is easy if you know the right information.
And you can call her torque converter guy because he knows now.
Yeah,
So if you do it,
QTC converter in Ontario, California knows how to do it. So if you ever want to get a proper torque converter so you can run a Chevy transmission to your Toyota engine, QTC in Ontario, California. And he went out of his way, he drove out here to make sure it would fit before it got welded, because the craziness that had happened before with it not fitting was a little scary. To put it in perspective, we're supposed to leave tomorrow to go get the body for this lovely truck, so.
That's customer service. They drove out
Customer
there.
service,
They care.
he cared enough to drive out here, so.
Alex is customer service.
No.
All I'm gonna say, Alex is the best customer service there is.
I'm here like just conducting the orchestra of this truck, so anyways.
Good job.
Good job, everyone.
We're back. It's another day at Hoppos, and another day Brad and I are gonna get this torque converter and my transmission where it needs to be. I'm actually pretty hyped right now because a miracle happened and that we even have this, and it had to go on before we go and get the cab, and we're gonna be going to go get the cab back up to Visalia to go to S&K to pick it up, and before the cab goes on the transmission, it has to go in there. I mean, we're not gonna pull the cab back off once it's all, the doors are gapped and all this stuff. So Brad,
Hope we bring strong arms today. You're looking buff.
look, I'm strong today, so I'm gonna help the best I can. Brad's feeling strong. We're gonna make it happen. And miracles, I'm telling you. Did you preload it already?
Yeah.
You're okay. So Brad already, our good friends at Torco, provided us with some quality ATF. Gotta get it in there first. I mean, I'm learning lots because I don't know nothing about transmissions. So you have to, before the new torque converter goes in, you have to pre-fill it. And then it goes in, and then we're going to lift this bad boy up to there, and hopefully we can get the bolts in.
It's heavy. And is there a chance we can lift this up some?
Yeah, we'll raise it, and then
Because it needs to be up for us
and then
to
we
get
can
a little.
even put a jack under it. Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
if that's strong. I'm not strong as you.
Transmission is somewhat in. Heck yeah. This is great. This is great. We're moving along because the body's going on this weekend. But look at Brad going already. This man's wasting no time. firewall. And then Brad's been working on getting my drive shaft in. All the last pieces of the puzzle before it leaves. No way. Now, through this starter hole, there's a whole bunch of bolts that have to get actually connected, which are a nightmare. So we're gonna see. Hopefully it'll be all right. You can reach?
Perfect. Dead nuts perfect.
It's perfect?
Our guy knocked it out of the park.
So he got it right on the money.
Right on the money. So we need to get a wrench here to turn the motor so we can make sure our bolts align and then we can go, dude. And I think we need Loctite and the torque converter. Oh, I like the floor's all slippery.
Brad's just sliding around on the floor. Okay, so we need to turn from here.
This is a 19mm socket. I'll get that.
Okay. And then we gotta get them bolts. Okay, so we got a wrench down here on the front of the pulley. I'm gonna be turning it. Brad's gonna be underneath, and he's gonna be getting the bolts into the spot that they need to go to. Now, they're kind of in a weird spot because obviously the transmission's on, the torque converter's in, everything's butted up, so it has to be cycled to be able to reach the bolt as it comes around to the bottom. It's kind of the hard part and the last part of putting the transmission in, and we're really thankful that Brad is here because I had no idea what it was going to take to do this. QTC, Quality Torque Converters, made a wonderful torque converter once it got all sorted, and it's butting up and lining up absolutely perfect. So I'm so grateful. After having all the issues, I can't be more grateful for that. So we're gonna get the bolts in, and then we're gonna be good to go to get loaded on the trailer later today. Oh my gosh, Brad! It happened! We have a transmission, we have a torque converter, we have the adapter plate, we got everything bolted in, and we have transmission, a Chevy transmission with a Toyota engine because we're weird as heck, but we like it.
Ready to go drive a fast truck?
I'm gonna drive his fast truck maybe? I don't know. Anyways, heck yeah. Time to load this thing up, hit the road, go to SNK, because that's where this next episode is gonna be. Before I leave you, just wanna say, adapt and overcome. You can get through it. Even though it seems like it's impossible, the possible can happen if you just believe in yourself and everyone around you. Do the things, build your dreams. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good things down below, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Appreciate the support, you guys.